Today, Mama P reads The Fall of the Wibbly Wobbly Tower, written and illustrated by Benz. Changing the way we see mistakes, one wobble at a time. In the center of a hot and sunny valley with no shade lay an old dried-up riverbed, and on the side of that riverbed grew a bush, and under that bush lived Oakley. The valley was very dry enough for everyone to be hot and thirsty all the time. The old river just didn't flow like it once did, and there was no cooling off in the valley. Then one day, there was a new neighbor in Oakley's valley, the ants. The ants made a tall mound on the top of a hill near Oakley's bush that cast a long shadow that cooled a small part of the valley. Everyone loved hanging out in the shade of the ant mound, and so did Oakley. Then one shady afternoon, Oakley had an idea. "This spot is amazing," he said to his friends, "but imagine if my home was really tall. It could make shade for everyone in the valley." With his friends cheering him on, Oakley decided he was going to build a tower. So off Oakley went, but there were no trees in the valley. So Oakley collected what old twigs, sticks, and branches he could find, traveling very far. After finding a nice spot to start, he stacked one branch at a time, and the tower got taller and taller and taller. A pair of crows flying spotted Oakley's tower. "What is this?" one of them said as he landed. "I am building a tower so that everyone in the valley will have shade to cool off." "This looks like it is about to fall. Look at this piece," he said as he flicked a twig off of the tower. With that, the tower started to shake. It started to rumble. It wibbled, it wobbled, and fell with a tumble. "Ka-ha-ha-ha! You call that a tower?" the crow said as he flew away. "Ka-ha-ha-ha-ha!" Oakley's dreams were dashed as he looked down the bank far below. "It didn't even last the day," said the crow from overhead. But looking at the ants, Oakley decided not to let this setback deter him. He thought maybe he should pack mud at the base to make a stronger foundation. Oakley started once again by collecting all the mud he could gather. One clump at a time, the tower was rebuilt and got higher and higher and higher. Just as Oakley's tower started to make shade, the crows returned. "You don't know when to call it quits, do you? It's just gonna fall again," said the crow as he started pecking at some berries on the tower. The crow hopped onto the end of the berry branch, which caused the tower to lean. With that, the tower started to shake, it started to rumble, it wibbled, it wobbled, and fell with a tumble. "Ka-ha-ha-ha-ha! I told you," said the crow as he laughed and flew away. "Thanks for the berries." "Oh no, not again," said Oakley. Still determined, he got to work again, but this time a little slower, as a little voice inside of him was telling him he was wasting his time. "I will try to build it on the other side of the bank," thought Oakley. "There is more stone there." So again he traveled far and wide, gathering stones this time. After many weeks of stacking, one stone at a time, Oakley's tower got bigger and bigger and bigger. Oakley started to reach his goal of creating a large, shady spot for the valley. But then it started to rain. The wind and the rain pushed on the tower. The crow, seeking relief from the rain, landed nearby the base and started to claw at the stones, trying to burrow in. "Whoa, what a wibbly wobbly tower," said the crow. With that, the tower started to shake, it started to rumble, it wibbled, it wobbled, and fell with a tumble. "Ka-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha!" Then Oakley sat down thinking, "I have failed," and the rain kept coming. "What a crummy tower! What a mess! The end." Or was it? A little bunny named Summer came hopping by. "Hey, Mr. Oakley, what a wonderful creation you have here." What do you mean?" said Oakley. "Come up here and see," said Summer. Then Oakley started to climb the pile of his failures. "Whoa, look at that," Oakley said as he looked at his failures from a different angle. The ponding over the weeks had caused a habitat change. The valley changed from a dry, thirsty landscape to a rich, moist valley, a valley that vegetation and wildlife could thrive. Oakley created the very first beaver dam. "Sometimes what we see as failures are just stepping stones to something wonderful," said Summer. "You may not have created a tower, but look at this shade." Oakley looked out over the valley. Everything that had fallen had made this. Every mistake, every wobble, every try. Maybe he hadn't failed at all. Summer smiled. "You thought you were building a tower, but really you were building a home. It didn't fall apart. It just came together in a different way." Oakley nodded. Maybe the best things aren't what we plan. They're what we build along the way. In the center of a hot and sunny valley with plenty of shade laid a beaver dam, and next to that beaver dam grew a pond, and in that pond lived Oakley, the first beaver. Funny. Everyone looks like ants from up here. The end. Please like, follow, and subscribe if you want to hear me read more books. If you enjoyed this video, please like, follow, and subscribe to read more books with me.